Hi everyone, it's TheDollFairy, here to bring you another magical doll transformation. Today we will be focusing on the process of planning, constructing, and sewing a complex outfit. I'm continuing my series of dolls based on characters from the Kingdom Hearts series with Aqua, a Keyblade master originally from the prequel game Birth by Sleep. I've already rerooted her, repainted her face, and styled her hair with hair sculpting glue. I didn't film any of that because I actually started this project before I even had a YouTube channel. However, like most of my Kingdom Hearts series, they've been sitting around waiting for me to make their outfits for about 2 years now, maybe more than that, so it's finally time to finish Aqua. Aqua has a really cool outfit. I start out by finding high quality reference photos of the outfit and then sketching out the parts of her outfit in my sketchbook. Sketching the components helps me understand how best to construct the pieces, what fabrics will work best for each piece, and in which order to create and attach each piece. The next step is to create the patterns. If you're making an item of clothing that is meant to fit loosely on the doll, such as a hoodie, you can just place the doll on your piece of graph paper and eyeball the measurements while drawing out your pattern. But for form-fitting parts of the outfit, you need to make sure the pieces will create exactly the right shape to fit nicely on the doll. Since Aqua is on the taller body, I will be using this cerise hood doll as my dress form while creating the doll, so that I won't mess up Aqua's hair while working. If you've watched my other doll customizing videos, you may have seen me do this before, but this time I'll try to explain it in a bit more detail. I first wrap the target portion of the doll's body in plastic wrap, tightly fitted. Then I use strips of masking tape to create a complete shell that covers the entire area needed to be covered by the clothing. This pattern will be for Aqua's main bodysuit, which has a sort of turtleneck at the top, an open back, and matching shorts. I draw out the outline of the suit right onto the masking tape. I'm sketching this out in pencil first, just in case I need to erase and revise. I then go over my initial pencil lines with a pen. Just be careful it's not a really smudgy pen, or you can get ink on your doll. Even though this portion of the outfit seemed pretty simple at first glance, looking closer, I could see that there were actually different colors used in the construction. There's some navy blue and some black, and a bunch of different components to it, so I had to draw all of that out while it was on the doll so I would know what it would look like. And then later I can cut along those lines and use these pieces as my pattern pieces. Then I also mark the lines for the seams and cut along those lines. Once they're cut and refined a bit, these pieces will become our pattern pieces. For the drapey parts of the outfit, this just takes some trial and error, estimating, and tweaking. I like to use paper towels to simulate the draping of the fabric. First, I just kind of eyeball it, and then adjust, like for this piece of paper towel I used to create a bell sleeve. For this white part that ties around her somehow, I'm taking a little piece of ribbon just to try it out and determine how long this piece will need to be. For these skirt parts, I make sure to take into account the fact that I will gather the tops a bit. We can now take all of our pattern pieces and trace them onto paper to make them more symmetrical and neat. Now we're ready to get started on actually constructing the outfit. I pin these pieces to the fabric, trace along the outlines, and cut them out. I always leave an ample seam allowance around the outline of each piece so that I will be able to sew the pieces together later. For dark fabrics, I bought a white dressmaker's pencil, but actually my white Prismacolor pencil actually works better because of its softer pigment. For these skirt parts, I'm using this fabric with a light to dark blue gradient, so I strategically chose certain portions of the fabric for the skirt pieces. For some of the seams, because they're so small, I found that using fast grab tacky glue is a neater way to secure them. Seriously, I love this stuff, it works so well. Here I'm using it to attach this thin piece of ribbon, which will act as trim along the edge of the garment. I like using the glue for accent pieces because then you don't have to see the stitches and it gives it a cleaner look. I used it for the sleeves as well. I made these long black socks by tracing the shape of a pair of Ever After High tights onto paper to create an accurate pattern. These side skirt pieces are extremely important to her look, so I took the time to make them double layered and to add the ruffle at the bottom. To me, gathering fabric after sewing a straight line is one of the most satisfying things. Look how pretty it becomes when it's gathered. It also emphasizes the subtle gradient on the skirt. This is definitely my favorite part. Now that the sleeve seams are dry, I'll sew them up. I attached the skirt pieces to the bodice piece. It's starting to look pretty nice. Now I'm going to use some white thread to embroider the little white X's on her bodice. The embroidery thread I used was weird and kept falling apart, so I just doubled some regular white quilting thread instead. Now that the main outfit is complete, it's time to dress up my Aqua doll and then accessorize. I sketched out all the armor pieces I would need in my sketchbook, then created patterns for them on white paper. I've decided to follow Dollightful's doll armor tutorial for this part. I'm cutting the necessary pieces from black fun foam, then following the instructions in the tutorial, I'm using a little candle flame to semi-melt the foam and allow it to bend to conform to the curves of the doll. Make sure to watch Dollightful's tutorial to see how she does it. I've put the link in the description below. After shaping the pieces, I paint them over with black and metallic paints. Next, I'm going to paint Aqua's fingerless gloves right onto her hands with acrylic paint. No, I didn't use any sealant or primer, though that might have been a good idea. I just painted it. It took a few coats of watered down acrylic paint, but here's what they looked like when they were finished. I used hot glue to attach the armor pieces. I actually struggled to get everything to stay just the way I wanted, and I think I may also have used a dab of tacky glue here and there to keep it secure. I used some leather string in this purpley color for the X on her chest. I also made this little crest out of fun foam and acrylic paint. And I think she's actually finished! I'm really happy with how Aqua turned out. I love her colors and all the details in her outfit. This outfit was complex and forced me to find creative ways of doing things, which I ended up really enjoying. Of course, there are a lot of imperfections here and there, but I feel like I learned a lot. Would any of you be interested in commissioning doll outfits for me? I'm not quite confident enough to start commissioning repaints or full customs just yet. Plus, it's a huge time commitment. But I think that creating the outfit and accessories might be the part of customs I like best. Let me know in the comments section if that's something you're interested in, and if I get enough encouragement, maybe I'll give it a shot. I hope you enjoyed this detailed look at making complicated doll outfits, and thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to The Doll Fairy to see more custom doll magic. See you soon!